Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm the owner of Blush and Brow. I'm located inside House of Aesthetics. I'd love to have you in so we can bring out your natural beauty together. When I get to lay down and do nothing, it feels weird.
Well, it depends
Like
on where
I'm
I'm
doing
at.
something wrong.
Yeah. I'm at home, but it feels like that too. So tell me how you got into this, Jess.
So I used to be in retail management, and I got pregnant with Lenny, and I decided to make a career change because I was already going to be not working. And I had a friend that was doing this already, and she kind of got me interested in it. And you know me, I always like to work with my hands. So I thought that was perfect.
I'm so surprised you didn't think of it before because you're so artistic.
I know. I don't think I had ever seen it before.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't really a big, at least for us, it wasn't a big known thing.
Yeah, it was so new back then. I think this was back in like 2016, 2017. So it was still really new.
Yeah. So how long had your friend been doing it before she told you about it?
She had just gotten trained on it.
Okay.
I believe. So it was still really new.
A lot of learning curves, I'm sure, because it was so new.
Yes,
for everyone.
A lot of learning curves. Permanent makeup has come such a long way from where it started. Just learning over the years how it affects the skin, how it heals in the skin. Just new techniques that come out, better ways of doing things that look more natural.
Yeah, everybody wants that. Nobody wants the big tattoo.
Block brows.
Stuff. Yeah.
Angry bird brows.
Yeah, there you go. Angry bird brows. So what is your favorite service? So let me list what you do, and you correct me, you tell me, or add in whatever. So I know you do teeth whitening, brow lamination, lash lifts, the microblading, and that's it, right?
Yeah, so laminations, lash lifts, teeth whitening, and then all things permanent makeup.
So you started in permanent makeup and you kind of just like went from that to
the
other services.
Yeah.
I think that's very smart as a business owner, so you can offer more things and make a completed look for those that really can't afford the permanent makeup yet. Do you have like, if somebody really wants the permanent makeup done, do you have any type of like plan for them? Like, do you do half down and then the rest later? Like, how does that work for those people?
So permanent makeup, we always do full price just because it's a service that is very much cosmetic. So the supplies for that also are very costly. So we do everything up front, but very rarely I'll have discounts for new clients. And I do offer,
well, like a deposit. Could somebody do like, hey, can I give you
we do the deposits,
and then the rest is paid whenever they come in or whatever?
We do the deposits, and they can always pay like however much they want to with the deposit.
But you do have a minimum.
Right, the minimum is $75, and then that goes towards your service.
That's a really good price. I thought it was way more than that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very affordable.
It helps, when you can break it up like that. And like I said, you can choose what you want to put down, so that way you can do the rest later.
And then how do you choose? Like, do people tell you how they want their eyebrows to look? Or like, how do you make something come alive?
So they give me a general idea, like they say, okay, I want really natural. And then there are different versions of natural to different people.
Yes, exactly.
So one of the best things about permanent makeup is it is so customizable. So you can do like a powder brow, which most people think those are really bold, dark, big brows. You can actually do those really light and airy. And so those look very, very natural when they heal. But you still get the longevity of the permanent makeup. So it lasts longer. And then you still get that filled in look. So you're not having to touch them up daily. They're just, you literally wake up and they're done, which is really cool.
You also like map them because you have to make sure it goes with their face, because eyebrows really do make a difference on everyone's faces. Like how old you look or young. And like all the things. So
they can literally take like years off of your face.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it.
Brows.
I have literally seen it. So what do you do for people to make them feel confident before? Because it says permanent makeup, it's semi-permanent, but like, how do you make them feel comfortable in what you're about to like almost like permanently do?
I think a lot of what makes them feel comfortable is seeing my previous work, whether it's on friends and family, or they go to my Instagram and they see like, wow, this kind of looks different from what I've seen before. It's not so blocky like old school looking, like solid color, harshness on the skin.
But you also map it, right?
Yes.
Like you use tools to make sure that you are being as even as possible.
Yes.
And then you showed them what it will look like potentially.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when I got mine done and I saw that, I felt way more comfortable because I kind of have an idea what it's going to look like, and I can say yes, no, maybe so, I don't know. You choose. At least we have some type of control in the say of what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not
like, oh, I feel like those are a little thick. Can we take this arch down? Like whatever it may be that comes to your head. And like I said, it's super customizable, so we can adjust really anything. There are clients that like a certain look for brows sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna look the greatest, because I know how it's gonna heal. So sometimes people have to trust me on that. But for the most part, like, I'm gonna give you the brows you want for your face. It's not just like a stamped on thing and everybody gets the same brow.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how long does it last? The microblading powder, what is it? There's different options. There's microblading, powder brow, nano brow. Is that it?
So
what's the difference, and then how long do they last?
So microblading and nano brow are basically the same thing in the sense that they're hair stroke.
Okay.
They look like hair strokes. The pattern that I give your brows is hair stroke and very natural looking. Microblading, hence the blade, is done with a blade.
Okay.
And nano brows is done with a machine. Okay. So a lot of the newer techniques that come out is with machine. And that's because they yield much softer, more natural results as they heal. And it's more, I would say, like, you're dependable. You're able to say, like, I did this on the skin, it's going to heal like this. With microblading, because it's so manual with the blade and you're using your hand for depth, pressure, consistency, like everything, it's a very practiced technique. Microblading is. So, but you can't really control the depth in the skin because the skin has different depths everywhere you go. Yeah. So that's why it's better for like more mature skin to have machine work versus microblading, because with mature skin, I'm sure you know, being an esthetician, it fares on the thinner side a lot of the time. And so with machine work, you're going to get better healed results. stuff like that. I mean, it just really depends on the client. Like a really young client with dry skin, with a great skin barrier, you're going to get great results with microblading. They're beautiful with microblading. So it really just depends on the client and the skin that we're working with, what technique to go with.
Well, that's good because you have those options based on the skin.
Yes.
So you have like whatever you're going to do, it needs to be done because of who they are, what, you know, their
exactly.
skin. Well, that's really good that you have those. I never knew that. I thought it was just a look. I never knew. I never knew that it literally has to do with their skin.
Yep. And like oily skin, you don't want to do the blade, you want to do the machine. It lasts longer. A lot of clients I get coming in and they're like, I did microblading, but it never held up. And you look at their skin and it's either like super textured or super oily, and that's why. So there are different options, and then because of skin and skin type, but there's also different options because of what you're looking for. And so the greatest thing about nano brows, this is the newest technique that's available, is that it kind of gives you best of both worlds. Because you can get oily skin, can get a hair stroke now. You know, it's available with nano brows. And then if you want like more of a filled in look, you can do a combination brow, which I list as a signature blush brow. That's one of the things
I would like.
That's like my specialty. I love doing those because they are super customizable. You get the best of both worlds. You get shading, so more color, more depth in the brow, and then you also get the really pretty hair strokes. So it's a combination of those two. And
so what am I getting done right now?
I'm laminating your brows, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I felt like that needed it anyway.
Yes, I did.
So we talked about the microblading and the differences with those. What is brow lamination to those that do not know?
So brow lamination is basically, in layman's terms, it's a perm for your brow hairs. So perm kind of relaxes the hair, right? And it makes it more malleable. So that's what we're doing. We're relaxing the brow hairs and we're kind of reshaping them. When you do this, when you do the lamination, it kind of brings all of the hair that you have in your brow, it brings it out and up. So that way it gives your brows a fuller look. And then of course I'm able to reshape them in a really pretty way.
And you can always do this with after healed microblading, right?
Yes.
Like you can, this is something, microblading's done once a year or once every 2 years or so, right?
Microblading is typically done yearly.
Okay.
Powder brows and nano brows are typically done every 2 years.
Okay.
Signature brows every 2 to 3 years.
So that means in between the permanent makeup side, you can come in and get these laminations to just keep your actual hair, well, I don't want to say fluffy, but just like you were saying, like
I mean, it's just kind of like the cherry on top. Like laminations are beautiful on eyebrows. They look very natural. They just enhance your natural brows. And then of course, when you have that color on the skin underneath the lamination, it just makes it look that much better. I mean, it's like a perfect eyebrow.
Yeah. And then how long do these last?
Laminations last quite a while for being a maintenance service. They last anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
So I have clients coming in. It really just depends. Some people need every 6 weeks. Some people need every 7 weeks. Some people need every 8 weeks.
And does that depend on just like their thickness of their hair?
It depends on lifestyle, really. Like somebody that's going to work out a lot and sweats a lot, you know, they're having facials monthly, like they're going to need every 6 weeks.
Okay. Okay. And how does it make you feel as a practitioner doing these services on people whenever people sit up and they're like, oh.
It makes me so happy.
Well, because like, you know, it's the brow, it's the face, like it frames the whole face. Like you can get facials all day, you can get
Okay,
whatever.
so you are my sister, so you know that I was a little chunky when I was little. And so...
And with really big fluffy eyebrows.
And with huge wolf
me too,
eyebrows.
Too,
yes, I think yours were worse than mine.
They were. I had one eyebrow.
I'm saying this because I know what it does, how big it is to someone when their confidence can be lifted. And just when you look in the mirror and you like what you see, like, oh my God, people need that. And I just love to be able to provide that to people, especially those that are going through chemo or that have alopecia, and then they look up in that mirror and they see, oh my God, I have what I have wanted for so long, or what was taken from me. And it really, really, really speaks to my heart. Like, it really makes me happy and
keeps you going.
It keeps me going, and it keeps me wanting to do this.
Probably, yeah. That's awesome. That's like a huge, because it's an instant gratification thing.
Yes,
like facials, you have to be committed. You have to do, this for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, to see dramatic results. And then with this, it's like immediately you can see it.
Yes.
And so I think people love that because it's like,
it's just there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it is just there, especially after, the session and they're fresh. But talking about expectations for brows, it is kind of a process. Like, they're going to heal really beautifully. But there are going to be things where we need to touch up here and there. So that's where the 30-day follow-up comes up.
And what is the 30-day follow-up mean? What does that consist of?
So 30-day follow-up.
And what service are we talking about here?
So the process of all that, we're talking about permanent makeup. So like, that means lip blush, that means anything eyebrows.
Like eyeliner too.
Yeah, eyeliner, anything permanent. Anything that I'm going to insert ink into your skin with, that's permanent makeup. And so we need a 30-day follow-up just to make sure that, the ink, after it peeled, is it going to resurface? Did it resurface in the area that we needed it to? Is the shape exactly how we wanted it? It's kind of a perfecting session, just to make sure that we get the results we want.
And when you say peel, is it kind of scary? Does it hurt or anything?
No. Okay, so like back in the day when permanent makeup was new, or it wasn't new but got very popular, the healing process was very different. So yes, back then it was, you needed like a week to be able to be
hidden.
Yes, hidden. Like, you probably wouldn't want to look in the mirror for like a week, much less go out. But the peeling back then was kind of crazy. Like, it would come off in chunks, and like they said, dry healing. So like, you're not touching your brows. When you get in the shower, you're like, oh my God, I can't get water on them. Now that is very different. So we actually cleanse twice a day when we heal. And so, saying all this just to say, peeling is very, very minimal now. It's more of like a flaking of the skin, and it's not very bad. I mean, it's not crazy.
Not painful.
It's not painful. Okay. I mean, your brows are going to go through, and lips, and eyeliner. They'll go through phases, but you'll hardly recognize it just because it's so fast and it's not painful at all.
And that's why that 30-day follow-up is so important, because we want the optimal results.
Exactly.
Ultimately.
Yeah. We want them to look how they're supposed to look. And we want them to look natural, and, we want the color to suit us the best we can. But some people, and mainly it's those that have had previous work, that have had laser removal or alopecia or undergoing chemo, that have had so much hair loss, that need more sessions. Those are the ones that are going to be like more of a process.
Yeah, not that instant.
Yes, I mean
which is understandable.
Yeah, because good things come in time. Yep.
So besides those, you do lash lifts too.
Yes.
For those that don't know, which hopefully everyone does, because it's such a popular service now. How would you describe that?
Lash lifts are very much like a brow lamination, in the sense that it's basically a perm. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 rods and I'll kind of lightly lay them on the eyelids, and then we'll pull the lashes up on the rods, and then we'll apply lifting and setting lotions on them. And so what that does is it lifts all the lashes that you've got, making them look fuller. And then we also do a tint that's included.
That's awesome. So it's like making you look like you're wearing mascara all the time without putting like 10 layers of mascara on.
Yes. And it helps growth too. It helps because you're not layering and you're not using the curler over and over with creating breakage in the lashes. It really helps with growth. If you're tired of lash extensions, they're beautiful. I mean, lash extensions are amazing, but longevity wise, it's
expensive for one.
It's expensive. There's a lot of upkeep, but lash lifts, you're able to just use your natural lashes.
And how often, like with extensions, you have to do every 2 weeks or so.
Right. So with lash lifts, it's every 6 to 8 weeks. Everyone's different. Like some people have really coarse and very straight lashes.
So that might need a little bit.
Yeah, those clients need they'll be coming every 6 weeks at least.
Well, and then so you could do multi sessions too. Like what I've seen you do is you do a brow and a lash lift at the same time. Yep. Do you ever do teeth whitening while they're sitting too?
I do teeth. Yeah, I can combine teeth whitening with pretty much any service.
Okay.
My favorite combination is the lip blush and the teeth whitening.
Oh yeah.
We'll do the teeth whitening first and then the lip blush, and it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Right. Teeth whitening that lasts anywhere from 6 months to a year, but of course, can't be drinking red wine every day.
Yeah. Lifestyle as well.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's awesome. It's so relaxing.
I know.
Do you have anything else that you would like to add?
I am probably.
Oh, how long have you been doing this? I don't think I even asked that.
Oh, I've been doing this since 2017. Okay, is when I started everything. When my little
7 years ago. Awesome. That's a fun journey, I'm sure.
Oh, it's so fun.
You have freedom, you're an entrepreneur, and you're doing what you love.
I love it. I really do.
I think your next step you mentioned is more like training others.
I have in the past. I just haven't made it available online yet. And yes, it's coming. So that's exciting because I love teaching.
Me too.
Yeah, I love teaching. And so I'm excited to roll that out for everybody.
Because I'm sure these people that are just starting and thinking they want to do this, but yet they have no clue, and then they find out that this is the training for this is thousands of dollars.
It's expensive,
but it should be because this is not anything light.
Yes.
You're touching people's faces,
right? And not only are you touching their faces, but you're touching them with ink and with needles. So the training needs to be very great training. And the best training you can get is hands-on training, especially with stuff like this. I strongly advise anybody that's thinking about getting into this not to do online classes unless you have already been doing this, just because you don't get the
Well, like there's a lot, like there's pressure.
Yes.
There's technique. There's different things that you have
Exactly.
to experience to know if you're doing it the right way.
You need hands-on if you've never done this before.
That's great. I'm excited to see my brow. I don't think I want a tint.
Okay.
Well, unless you say so.
We'll leave them natural.
But I'm excited. That was a nice surprise for me to get a lamination today.
It's only because I needed something to do.
Thank you. Well, we are doing peels now. So if you ever want to be a model for the herbal peel, I know.
No, I'll do it.
No, I have a girl coming in. Kristen's coming in today, and
Okay,
she's well, like we need more than just one. But she was like, "But I do have one question. Can you numb me?" And I was like, "I guess."
Okay, I'll do it if you numb me.
Okay. Only you two will I do that with, like literally.
Yeah.
Because you have to know how the person is really feeling. But I know her skin enough to where I could do it, and then for you, same. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be trying to do that.